So, good morning. Since we already overbooked, I welcome you to today's session about Microsoft Viva. We are on track 3, empower people to work in new ways. And today we want you to empower how to use employee experience and of course how to use Microsoft Viva. With me live on stage, Didier. He will introduce himself right afterwards. We are really proud to present you this important topic about employee experience. And as you can see, it is an important topic. And let's dive into the agenda. We do have a really exciting agenda since I really want to start with why employee experience matters, because it is the fundamental in using how Microsoft Viva works. Then Didier will show you a live demo as a frontline worker that you really get the experience how you could work with your mobile devices and then start with how to Viva. And of course we won't miss the opportunity to show you the upcoming highlights on the roadmap with Viva. But Didier, please introduce yourself.
So yeah, good morning everyone. I'm really glad to be here. So many people, you mentioned it, EXP is definitely a topic that everyone is interested into it. My name is Didier Hubounig. I'm a so-called enterprise architect in our Microsoft Technology Center here in Zurich. My main topic is modern work, everything, how to work together from physical to digital workplaces, of course. And my main industry is the healthcare space, but I'm also happy to talk about other topics if you like. So thank you that you're here. I'm looking forward for a really great session.
Thank you, Didier. You see our QR codes. Please connect on LinkedIn also to ask additional questions afterwards. My name is Pascal Brunner. I'm a Microsoft MVP in M365 Apps and Services, and I will guide you through this session. Of course, feel free to take pictures or videos. If you share on LinkedIn or other social media, please use the following hashtags. And then let's dive into why employee experience matters. Of course, the workplace has changed dramatically and we are facing in a hybrid world, and we do have some new challenges, not just on the daily business, but really on the daily life. But first of all, I want to give you an overview with well-known experience. So let's start with the well-known customer experience. I think it's no longer a question that customer experience is really important. So it really makes a difference for you as a company to have the best experience for your customers from the very first day till the very end. Another well-known experience is the user experience. For example, if you develop a new Power App, it really makes a difference if you have a good user experience or not. And in that case, you also have to improve your apps with a daily basis to really feel natural for your users how to use the apps. And now we are facing with the employee experience. So our main goal here is that we have the best experience for employees from the very first day till they leave the company, because it makes a difference if your employees feel connected and feel motivated and even feel understood, and that has a daily impact for their work and of course also an impact for you as an organization. As I already mentioned, the workplace has changed dramatically. So employees are redefining their role of work and also what's important for them. So there is kind of a new equation. It's not longer just about a paycheck, but really to have a meaning in their work. The flexibility is such an important topic, and of course also the connection and the human-centric approach within an organization. So we have to make sure that we can face those challenges, and that's why employee experience is such an important topic. But employee experience does not only make a difference for you as an employee, but also for you as a company, because latest research shows that companies that investing in employee experience make even more profit and revenue compared to those are not investing into employee experience. And of course, it makes definitely sense, because if your employees are motivated and do understand why they have an impact on a daily basis, they are even more motivated and make better results and make, of course, better work. So we as a leader need to find modern ways to engage and develop our employees, and that directly in the flow of work. And this brings me to Microsoft Viva. Because it is so important that we can stay in the flow of work and not always change or switch the context and the application. And that's why we have to make sure that all the different challenges are directly replaced within the flow of work. But what is actually an employee experience platform? We do have several pillars. We want to face them. Of course, an important topic is insight and well-being, as well as the growth part with learning and expertise. But the most important part with the employee experience platform is that, of course, that it is a platform, just not additional tools, but really a whole new platform, and that put the people at the center. So your employees are the most critical part, and they have to be at the center to be the most productive way. And of course, when I talk about the flow of work, it brings us to Microsoft Teams, which is our default way to collaborate, chat, meet, and so on in our daily basis. But not only that, but also all the different apps we have. And Microsoft Viva is really on top on Microsoft Teams, where we have the way to directly put these different platforms and different apps directly into Teams to always stay in the flow of work. So let's have a look for architectural reason which all different modules are combined within the employee experience platform from Microsoft Viva. What we see on the very right side, we have Viva Sales already shown at the keynote. It is your role-based experience to aggregate all the information from your sales-related roles, for example, Teams and Outlook, and put it directly into your CRM, for example, Salesforce or Dynamics. But we have 9 different modules also from all the employees with the different pillars, and I want to start with the connection pillar. Nowadays, it's clear that many employees feel disconnected with their co-workers and also with the whole organization. But not only that, but also our frontline workers are really often not part of the daily communication, so they are quite separated from the office worker. So we need to make sure that we can include all our employees and make sure that they have all the relevant information on a daily basis. Which brings us to Viva Connection, which is basically your SharePoint online intranet where you can place directly into Teams. We do have Viva Engage, which is formerly called Yammer, which allows us to communicate and contribute in communities. And last but not least, one of the newest family members, Viva Amplify, which allows you as an internal communication to inform in campaigns within your company. So you can really measure and make an impact how your communication works, for example, to put it directly in SharePoint Online, Teams, and so on. The second pillar I want to point out is the insight pillar. We do have a global problem with burnout, so the boundary between private and business life are disappearing more and more. So when I work in my home office, I'm just one step away from the fridge or from the living room, and sometimes it's super hard to navigate with all the high workloads to even make sure that I have or that I can disconnect with my daily work. And that's why we need Viva Insights. Viva Insights gives us the opportunity to really understand our work habits, not only on an individual level, but really on a team or organizational level. Another new topic or another module is Viva Pulse, which allows us as a company to get regular feedback from our employees, to really feel the pulse of the organization, and combined with the work habits, we have the possibility to improve our productivity on a personal level, but also on a team level. The third pillar with purpose pillar, it is Viva Goals. Maybe some of you already know the well-known methodology OKRs, which is objectives and key results. And Viva Goals bring OKRs directly into teams. So you as employees do really understand which impact you have on a daily basis. You can see the related goals from your personal level into your team level till your organizational level. This helps to give your employees the meaning of their work, and as we already know, as they do understand what impact they have on a daily basis, they are even more motivated and can even work better day by day. And last but not least, we have the growth pillar, where we face different challenges. Once we do have so much information within our M365 tenant, from documents to chat to mails and stuff like that. And Viva Topic is an AI-based knowledge management where extract all the different information and put it directly into your knowledge management system with Viva Topics. So we can face with Viva Topics an AI-based knowledge management that is also integrated directly in the flow of work. Didier will show it later on in the live demo, where you can directly connect to your topics and knowledge in your company, in Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, and so on. And last but not least, we have the Viva Learning part, which is also a really important part, and I want to stick with it for a second. We do know that our employees have only 1% of their time to invest in learning. So we have to make sure that the time they invest in learning, that it feels the most natural way and is the most productive way. But nowadays we have on the left-hand side the learning systems, for example, a learning management system. We do have several content providers such as LinkedIn Learning, Microsoft Learn, and so on. And on the right-hand side, we have our work systems. But the reality is there is a gap, because it is not connected to those two systems, and they are separated. And as we already know, we have to stick in the flow of work, and it is additional it needs additional effort to learn within your current system. What we really want is to have kind of a learning hub, where we all can aggregate our different content providers, such as SAP, SuccessFactors, Udacity, LinkedIn Learn, Microsoft Learn, and so on, and everything comes up in one big hub. And our one big hub is Viva Learning. And Viva Learning is directly into Microsoft Teams, but it's not only relevant to aggregate all these different content systems, but it allows you really to make individual learning path. For example, that you can set up a learning path for a specific project, put it directly as a Teams tab in your project, and it feels the most natural way, and it's super easy for your employees to learn on a daily basis. And as we see, Didier is already set up for the live demo, and we want to show you how it feels as a frontline worker with the different tools with Viva, and also how Viva can help you on a daily basis directly on your mobile phone. And let's have a look, Didier.
Yeah. So there we are. So I'm not Bob, but I'm also on the construction side. Today I'm really on the construction site. That's the reason why I have all my safety clothes with me. And I have a rock solid device because typically I don't want to have my iPhone 14, 15, whatever on the construction site. I want to have a rock solid one, which is here really perfect match. It works flawless. It has a barcode scanner, it has a walkie-talkie button, and. But this is not Viva at all, right? The reason why I have that is a shared device. So I go to the construction site, pick my device, and I want to have my content on my device. I don't want to have a generic account or something like that. And that's the reason why I have here the possibility to log in on a shared device and have all access at my fingertips. Everything accessed at my fingertips. And the reason why I have that is also possibilities that I can easily log in, log out, share with other colleagues and so on the device, so no one has really to bring their own device to the construction site. But if we have a look to the Viva part, so my main topic is Teams. As Pascal mentioned as well, it's my platform where I start. I have all my chats, my activities, and you might notice on the bottom my view looks a little bit different than probably on your mobile phone. The reason is because I have here really a setup policy where I can now leverage it exactly what I need on the construction side. So I have my Viva connection, I have the intranet, I see all the necessary information on my dashboard. So really fancy. I see directly I have some time off capabilities, so I see, all right, I had my sick days and so on, can easily navigate through that one. And of course, for me, typically also an important one, especially with my family at home, is the payslip. Where is my payslip? There it is, my payslip. So I have also my payslip at my fingertips directly from my Viva Connections portal. And that's really the easy part. I combine multiple systems which exist already in the company and make it available at my fingertips at one spot. And with Viva Dashboard or Viva Connection on the dashboard, you can easily leverage that. You can just connect to an existing web application or the system as long as it has an API. And everyone which knows SharePoint, they know SharePoint framework and they can easily develop with that application like the payslip and so on. So not really rocket science at all. Of course, I can do more. I see my shifts on the top right-hand side. I jump directly to my shift, so I know, all right, I have my night shift, so probably I should go very soon to bed. And have everything here without navigating through other applications and so on. But if I'm back somewhere in the canteen or something like that, I have, of course, also my menu plan here. So the most requested application by everyone, right? So you need to know what's in the lunchtime available. Everything I can read on my mobile phone quite easily, straightforward. So Viva Dashboard helps me to give me everything which I need. If I have a task open, I will see that. If I have something else, I can see that. So it's a personalized view which matters to me. So that's the reason why the employee experience is always about people being in the centric and see all the information there. Of course, I have then my walkie-talkie, every kind of functionalities from the Teams application. However, I might have somewhere in the lunch break time to make a short training. So I go to learning. There I see now all my required trainings. So no pending assignments, excellent, so I'm done for today. But I have some open bookmarks and even recommendation from colleagues. So if I click on the recommendation from colleagues, I see that some colleagues have recommended to me some trainings, which I probably have done already. It's already overdue. And what I can do now easily, jump in, read through it. I see now also it takes me 1 hour and 15 minutes max. So I can easily plan my training, how I want to use it and so on, and start directly with my fingertip again on my mobile device, my required trainings, which are required for a learning path, which I have to do in my role and so on. Good. So learning, straightforward. Questions so far? No? Good. Let's continue with the other applications, of course. So Viva Engaged. Viva Engaged, those who know Yammer, which started with Yammer in the past, they will love it because now also integrated finally totally into the system. So if I really want to have just a sort of communication from the top level to the bottom in all direction, I can easily consume it here. However, as Pascal also mentioned, I don't need extra an application. There is a dedicated one in my navigation. If I go back to my Viva connection, go to feed, I will see everything from the news, which is on SharePoint news and so on, and of course everything which is in Yammer as well. So I can consume again at one spot everything quite easily, straightforward. Can like it, can forward it, can chat with my colleagues about it, can read, for example, a news article which is boosted so that the communication can also have boosted the communications things. We can also customize it, that is a target audience, so I just see something which Pascal will not see and vice versa, this kind of capabilities. Super easy here. So let's open the news article. So we will see that later on my desktop as well. I can scroll through, I can read it, I see some information, I see who already published it, I can like it and forward it and then. Again, without the need to have a mobile, a tablet or something else with me, just my mobile at the end. Good, I'm still in time, good. Of course, if I want to navigate further, if I need to, for example, to reach out to my HR department, I have my resources, so I have here the possibility to quick access it, organizational information, and then navigate again here through all the products which are stored in SharePoint. And that's the part which Pascal mentioned. SharePoint is really one of the common layer which combines these kind of things together. The news, the dashboard, everything is literally what you already invested in SharePoint Online, now just with Viva connection at your mobile, under your desktop at one single spot. All right, should we shift? Good?
So as you can see, Didier is now going back to the office and want to double check if it's the same on the desktop device. So let's imagine he goes back to the office and then also grab the latest information. Of course, we do have also the Teams application with all the different Viva modules directly on our desktop as soon as the sharing is back.
Okay.
But what is really make the difference here with Microsoft Viva is the integration into Teams. So we do have different stakeholders or different goals with each module, but everything is directly integrated into Teams, which it allows us as an employee to stay in the flow of work. So let's have a look, Didier, how it looks like in your office.
Thank you. So again, my Teams client, and let me make it a little bit bigger. I apologize for that, forgot to do so. My team client, again, different navigation. However, I still have here my Viva connection part. So I have again my intranet with me. I have the same news articles as soon as it loads. And I see I have now migrated today to the new home site. Fantastic. So we will talk about that later on. That's the new home site. I'm already there on my tenant. And typically I can have either the home site available, which I'll talk later on a little bit, or the intranet, the Viva connection on my main screen. So there we have again all the news articles, everything as we had seen before. I have on the right hand side my dashboard. I have here again the possibility to go through my time off, my payslip and so on, and we really have my personalized information here again. You can navigate further down. I see other tiles which I typically don't see on the mobile, for example, so I can also customize there a little bit the stuff. And of course I have my news article, the feeds as we have seen, where I can click on, and now I jump off here to my news article as we have seen before as well, but now really nicely rendered on my device. Of course, learning, same here. If I go to learning, I have now again another view, but it's exactly the same at the end. I see now here my construction management safety health thingy, which I should probably do. But I'm now the manager, and I recommended that to other peers as well. So I see my learning, and I see my recommendations to you, also to me, but I have also possibility, sorry about that, recommendation to see to which I recommend to others. And imagine if you have now an LMS system, you can feed this information back and forward, so it doesn't matter where it is. Viva Learning is just literally the user interface and consumes all the information from your backend. However, this kind of information can then also be grabbed from the learning system, and then we see the progress level, this kind of information as well here on my screen. If I have assigned to my team, everything there.
And maybe if I can jump in here. What it makes really powerful is we have one hub for all the different content providers. So for me as a user or an employee, I do not have to switch between Pluralsight, SAP, SuccessFactors and so on, but really everything in one hub, and it feels the most natural way here.
Exactly. So now a topic which we didn't talk about, Viva Topics. So Viva Topics, you might notice here, Alpine Ski House is highlighted. I just refresh it, that you can just follow it, that link. So it's not yet a link, and now it's a link. Why did that happen? Because Viva Topics, the AI, recognized that as a key topic, which is important somehow in the company, and gives me now additional information about it. What does that mean? I can now hover over. Oh, sorry, not you being. Go on. I hover over here and I see additional information, who is responsible for the topic, I see the details. If I want to see more, of course, I can then jump off directly to the topic page and see then, for example, more details about it or other topics which could be of interest. So the knowledge management starts to be here quite easily combined. Let's go back again here. Sorry about that. And view details.
So all the different information are initially extracted by AI.
Correct.
And then we as the knowledge manager can add additional information, for example, for this topic page. So when we browse here, Didier can show you which different information you can find on a specific topic page.
On the topic page, as you know or see, it's the SharePoint site, so we can add additional pictures, we can add additional content to it. We have here the pinned people, which are the responsible people for that specific topic. And what we also have here is a list of suggested files. So the Microsoft search, the AI search brings everything together. And you see now in my environment just PowerPoints and documents, but it's not really the case in your environment. If you have a ServiceNow or Jira or whatever, even those information can now be shown there. So if there is something in Jira for the Alpine House, then it will also show up here in that list. And everything security trimmed, of course, so I just see what I'm allowed to see and can then consume everything from here. And of course, we see then additional information here, and I just noticed that something didn't load it up. Let's refresh.
But what it makes also so powerful for topic is that it's directly integrated, for example, in your Bing search. If you use it on a daily basis, this so-called topics is integrated in all your different layers in your daily work. So it also pop up, for example, in your Outlook, as well as you can highlight it in a Word document and then search for this specific topic. So it is not only in Teams, but really in your whole work experience.
That the seamless experience helps you, of course, that you really don't have to search for something. You see already the acronyms, you get the information, the details, and so on. And again here, if we go back to our Teams client in Viva Connection, if I scroll down here again on the landing page, if I'm now a topic manager, I will get here this little tile, which allows me to review even new recommended topics, which are AI identified as possible topics. And now I don't have to jump off and jump forward. I just go here. Yeah, of course, Lucerne is a resource that we need. Western region, we don't want to have. The Project Titan, no, that's super confidential, we don't want to have it there, and I can easily click through it and have everything then managed without going directly to Viva Topics. And this is the fluent and seamless integration of Viva. It's really, as Pascal mentioned as well, it's a platform which integrates stuff from the communication to the learning, everything went back and forward, and you can mix and match it how you want to do so. And that's the important point which we bring to the next level in the presentation. Good. No. Sorry. Good. So, just as a short summary, everything at one spot, view shifts, everything which is a system not Microsoft related in another system, we can easily combine and show as well in the interface. We combine everything together. We have the learning, which simplifies everything, because currently or today everyone has a mobile device, shared device, however, and they can easily consume information. The typical frontline work in the manufacturing line, they have somewhere a shared PC, they have to go there in the lunch break, they have to log in, log out, and they forget to log out and someone else has to reboot the system. They just lose a lot of time, and here with the mobile device and the learning paths, they can easily consume it at the end. But that's the topic. How should we start with the whole thing? There are so many pillars, as we have seen. Should we release everything, Pascal?
Yeah, let's dive in. So I think what's important to understand is that the different Viva modules do have different stakeholders. So it is not just about one platform, or for you as an IT department. You as an IT department have to support your different stakeholders. But as Didier already mentioned, all the different focus topics or pillars do have maybe a main business unit depending on your organizational levels. But if we have a look, for example, for the focus topic connection, of course your internal communication are the most important stakeholders for this topic, but it is useful for all the different employees.
Exactly, and the layer on top, the IT. IT is always responsible for Viva? Probably not, because they are not the business stakeholders, they don't know the needs of the business. They can operate it, they are responsible that it's there, that's configured, everything, but with the business stakeholder, like the communication, that helps you, of course, that you get the right things running, and you don't have to run everything from the connection part. If you just want to have a simplified the internet, go with Viva connection, SharePoint Online, and you're set.
As well as from a goals perspective, of course, you as an IT department do not have to implement the whole OKR framework into your organization, but you can support your management or business development in set up Viva goals to make it easier for you as an employees to drive the OKR approach into your organization. Same as from a people and culture perspective, for us it's really important that the IT department has to support the daily users or the stakeholders, but the main responsibility are in the different business unit areas, because they have the understanding from a business side and do also have the responsibility to make sure that it works on a daily basis.
And the same applies, of course, with Viva topics. We have seen it SharePoint, yes, fine, it's Microsoft Search, IT driven, yeah, typically, but the knowledge which is in the company, it's not the IT knowledge, it's really knowledge from the business needs to consume it, and you have to have this business owner, the topic owner, which knows it, yeah, that's current, yeah, we have some changes, we have a new roadmap, this kind of information which needs to be driven there, and those people are then really responsible for it. So it's really a hand in hand from IT with business stakeholder everywhere on those pillars.
And as we can see on top, it is Viva Home. We had already a sneak peek right before, but that brings us to the upcoming features. Maybe Didier, you can highlight some important topics on the roadmap.
So I can show you that one, but you can't read it. I just jump it because I want to highlight no, let's go back. There are many things coming. I have to apologize for that. Of course, we invest a lot in the whole Viva suite, and this is just upcoming March, April, and May topics. So you can imagine what comes the rest of the year as well. In everything we will invest more features will come. We have feedback from customers, from partners as well, something which works well, stuff which is not really well implemented, which will now improve and continue delivered. And topics that I want to highlight, so there are really a few which I really want to highlight for you especially, is for example the new home site. As you have seen live on my system, fresh delivered this morning unfortunately, no, it's great. And the new home site gives you exactly the same experience as has been on the mobile device. It simplifies everything, the jump off points are there, because typically you have them in that rail, you have as well the Viva learning, Viva insights and everything, but the navigation gets bigger and bigger, so you don't want to have that, right? And with the new home site you have now everything which is Viva related at one top, and you can navigate easily through that one.
Yeah, and as you can see, one of the best part with Viva Connection is of course the Viva dashboard is also directly integrated in the home space, so you can easily jump in the latest or most important topics right from the home side.
So expect to land on your tenant very soon. It landed on my tenant, so have a look maybe later this afternoon if it's already there on your end. If not, you can enable or disable it by PowerShell. So if you want to stick on the old one, PowerShell is your friend, enable, disable, really straightforward command there. Then on Viva Engaged, the leadership part, so Viva Engaged is really coming from the Yammer part, is one-to-one communication or one-to-many communication in all direction, bi-directional, and with the leadership corner, the leadership capabilities, now your leadership can transport messages directly to the front, to everyone in your company, and that gives you now also new possibility in the news feed and everything. You will then see those kind of information as well.
Even in combination with the storylines and also the story feature, as we already know from Instagram and other social medias, so you as a leader can also promote some content as a story directly to your employees.
But now let's go to one which you probably don't know that much, Amplify. What's Amplify?
Amplify is your new way to communicate within your organization in campaigns. So it allows you to create new campaigns and make sure that all the different stakeholders that are working for a campaign can contribute, and then easily by click do an approval process, for example, and once for example one approves the campaign, it easily pushes it to all the different channels, for example into Teams, as a new SharePoint news, and so on.
And this is a fantastic add-on to the whole story. So we have the SharePoint news, as you mentioned, we have Teams, we have Yammer, or we've Engaged, and now we have really the tool which could provide you the possibility to deliver messages. And that's a cool combination at the end. So for example, imagine you want to have a security training for your employees. You just make a campaign to make everyone aware, by the way, we will have a security training, something is upcoming, and then you just enable on Viva Learning the security training, learning path for your employees. So it's always connected together and you can spin everything around.
Even for your internal communication business units, it's one common feature or really requested that you can also measure how often is a news have been read or something like that. So it gives you also new opportunities to improve your internal communication.
Good. And another new kid in the block is Pulse. Pulse, you see here the mobile environment, and this is really the important point. Everything which we have is always mobile capable, which helps everyone, as we have seen on construction sites, somewhere on the manufacturing line, to consume the things. Pulse is really to get information back from your employees. How is the mood in the company? What's going on? You can collect this information and work, of course, with the feedback and make new campaigns, make new, other beneficial new beneficial initiatives, these kind of things, and work on quite straightforward there.
And this is also really important, as we have heard in the beginning, that people feel disconnected to the company. So we have on a SharePoint an engaged level or connection level to make sure they can communicate with each other and be engaged within a company. But this really allows us also to get directly feedback on a regular basis, which also thrives us for new initiatives. For example, how to make sure that your employees feel connected.
Good. Should we go forward?
Yes, let's go. So that's it. Feel free to ask any questions. Myself is also at the Ask the Expert table at table 8. In this afternoon, Didier will be around the corner. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn, as we already mentioned. And I would like to say, if you need the slides or stuff like that, just hit me or Didier and we can share it to you. And thank you for your participation and thank you for your time. And let's start with the employee experience.